Rastafari. Are we being heard loud and clear? Is everything blessed? Are we being heard loud and clear? Is everything loud and clear? Let's let me know if you heard me loud and clear. Give thanks for life and the mighty life. We will give thanks for every princess Akisha man. Are we being heard loud and clear? Are you hearing us good? Greetings, Valerie from Toronto. Are we hearing? Are we loud and clear? Is everything nice and loud and big towns? Is everything loud and clear? Yes, Lindy Paris, peace and love, the whole of the love. Give thanks, Yannick Paul. Nick. Give thanks for all those people who are with us today, and definitely we are going to be going into the whole realms of we're just going to continue on the discussions and the reasonings that we have been having fundamentally on the whole aspect of the health of the wellness, the overall wellness of the woman. And you know that specifically we were actually having a discussion on the whole realms of yeast infection and the whole aspect of vaginosis and all these different type of things there. And a lot of people, I mean, even people said that, well, different vibes they saw on Facebook or different places or different groups whereby people were really taking it for more like as if something that was rather, I would say, funny, something that made them laugh, but I just wanted to say that I was very, very serious, and I'm still very serious. Just let me know if you hear me loud and clear. Just let me know you hear me loud and clear. Just say, yes, priest, I'm hearing you loud and clear. No, priest, I'm not hearing you. Don't just wave. Just let me know if the volume is low. Bam, bam, bam. I just want to know whether you're hearing me loud and clear. If you're hearing me loud and clear. Okay, loud and clear on Instagram. But YouTube is saying that the volume is a bit low. Give thanks, Michelle June. Give thanks, Honorable Rastafari. Give thanks. So it is very important that at least that we understand the whole concept of when we speak of the whole aspect of the levity of the woman. Why say impressed? Everything less? Okay, all right. When we speak of the whole aspect of the levity of the woman, when we speak of the whole aspect of how it is that the woman is supposed to understand and how is it that she's supposed to actually know herself, it is very important that as a woman, that it is important that she knows her full realms, the full understanding of her being, exactly what she is and how every aspect of her physical structure, how these things they're really and truly going to be affecting exactly how her physical structure functions and how is it that how well she is, how sick she is. And understanding that I mean, having gone through the whole aspect of medical school, and having studied the human anatomy, it is one thing that I am I as a Rastafari, I don't actually regret the fact that I went into medical school, or they would say Babylon, or them type of things. In fact, I studied medicine in Cuba, and in the Ciencias Medicas del Cienfuegos. I also did sometime at the Spartan Medical School, and also I did some school at the American University of Antigua College of Medicine. And apart from that, we did do our studies in herbal medicine, and traditionally, I actually learned herbal medicine from my beloved grandmother, Amo. The topic tonight specifically, we are going to be looking at the realms of how is it that the clothes that the woman actually wear, and the shoes, and even the shoes that she wear, and how wearing a bra, and all these different aspects of the woman, how all these things there affects the woman, even leading to the point whereby it could get her to the point where she could grow a tumor in her breast. So you might never think that it would be possible or feasible or in any way that as a woman, right, that you now as a woman could just wear something, and then that thing that you wear could actually, give you breast cancer, or that thing that you could wear could actually give you, a type of cancer that specifically, you know, as a person, specifically as a person, that the clothes that you wear, the things that you do, exactly how you wear these things there, specifically, these things that could determine whether you actually live or whether you actually die. So it is significant, it is very significant that as a man or as a woman that you have that overstanding, that just probably the type of fabric that you buy for your empress, the type of material that she actually wear, the way that she walks, all these different things there can determine how well that she is, whether she is well, whether she is not well, whether it is that her whole status as a woman when it comes to her capacity, her overall wellness, whether she has breast cancer, uterine cancer, ovarian cancer, polycystic ovarian syndrome, fibroids, or any of these conditions. So it might seem like as if, okay, people normally just only speak about eating and drinking and what they eat and what they drink, and these the different aspects of things. That's what actually gives you breast cancer or gives you polycystic ovarian syndrome or gives you fibroids. And yet still the majority of people don't even have that level of understanding, knowing exactly how it is that, right? Knowing exactly how it is that just your complete levity, right? Your complete levity. Empress. That's why I don't. Your complete levity. I'm just speaking to the Honorable Empress. Right? How your complete levity is what that actually determines exactly how it is that you survive. Because trust me, the female is very deliberately um, targeted by the system. And when we hear of fibroids, polycystic ovarian syndrome, and we hear that 1 out of every 3 women of African descent gets breast cancer, and 2 out of every 3 women of African descent gets breast cancer, and 2 out of every 3 of them that get it die, right? 80% of all people of African descendants actually develop what we would call fibroids, polycystic ovarian syndrome. And on the whole, just as the Chinese and the Caucasians and the Indians and the Syrians and things, the woman in every essence, every society is being bombarded. And then the whole aspect of wellness when it comes to how it is that even the woman, right, is treated in the healthcare system, it's horrible. Trust me, it is just horrible. I mean, going through medical school and then you see how they examine a woman, right? And the fact that, okay, a man would come in and then they wouldn't hold the man balls and squeeze his testicles and then roll open his penis and do all different type of things, or you understand? Probably you might just do some type of thing. And if a man have an enlarged prostate, they might just do a simple little vibes, and they would hardly even cut the testicles of a man out. They never cut off a man's testicles. But they are very quick to cut off the woman's ovaries, or to take out a womb, or scrape her, or put in a vacuum inside and suck out something. So the whole realms of how the female, how the woman is actually treated when it comes to the whole aspect of the woman, how it is that they treat the woman on the whole, it's something that is just terrible. So the whole medical establishment, the whole medical system, right? The whole medical system is not established in a way that could actually allow the woman to be treated with a level of dignity and a level of love, a level of understanding. And so then if it is that for some way or some reason or the other, that the woman has a reason to actually go to a medical establishment, right? When she actually gets that medical establishment, the way that she is actually treated, right? The way that they treat the woman is completely different than how they're gonna treat the man. First and foremost, they like to tell a woman take all your clothes off, and then touch them hair and touch them hair and touch them hair and push their hand there and peep there and watch there and all these different type of things they actually do to a woman. And even when it comes to the whole realms of when it is time to actually give birth, when a woman has to actually push out a baby, it is important and significant that we note that this I personally haven't gone through the medical establishment, right? And going through that and witnessing firsthand a nurse just as soon as the woman lays back and she goes into labor, right? And she just attempts to begin to push, right? And first thing that they will do, they just take a scissors and just clip and just cut the woman, cut, and then okay, start to push, right? So they don't even allow the woman the opportunity to allow her vaginal muscles to stretch out open and to allow the child to actually come into the world, right? I have had instance and they say, well, priest, when it is a first time delivery, it's always more difficult. You lie. We have personally delivered children from women who have had their first delivery, their first born child, and during that delivery she doesn't even have one single tear, not one tear. Do you understand what I'm talking about? I'm talking about not having the necessity to actually have even one stitch after delivery, just because of the process preparing the woman for that delivery, and also the process of being there for the woman and allowing her to overstand fully. Have you ever seen an elephant give birth? Right? Have you ever seen an elephant give birth? A horse? A cow? Right? So when you fully understand the significance of how it is that the woman supposed to be treated and how they treat the woman, it's shameful. It's shameful how they actually treat the woman in the whole realms of medicine. It's shameful, man. So if she has a little problem, then they'll make her do a transvaginal ultrasound. So you're going to push. Remember, it's nothing much more different that you're going to. These fellas, they would sit down and think about the weirdest creation that they can create, right? Just to traumatize the woman, right? Just to disrespect the sanctity of the vagina of the. These fellows who choose the worst, sit down and think of the worst possible thing possible that they can do, the most invasive thing, the most wickedest kind of thing that they can think about doing, just to be able to have access to the sanctity of the woman. Evil. Jah Rastafari. So tonight I'm going to take you on a science class, and I want you to share the link to all sisters that you know. Share the link to the sisters that you know, because we're going to take you to science class, and right now I see that we are at 45 people watching on Instagram. Step it up. Send the link to people. Step it up. When we get to 50, we'll begin to teach you. Step it up. Share it to the people and step it up, man. Step it up. So, and let's maintain over a number and thing that. Step it up and share it. Make your daughters and your people come and join the live and thing, and let us go into science class. I'm ready to go into science class. I'm ready to go into science class because the whole aspect of, because remember, we're looking at, they say if you have 3 women, out of every 3 women, 2 of them gets breast cancer. Out of the 3 that get it, 2 of them die from it. Now, when we look at how they examine a woman, that's why personally in my clinic at Mount Kailash Rejuvenation Center, most times people find it strange that I don't really ask a woman to take off her clothes. I don't really do that. It's not something that we do unless the woman has to go through a level of therapy. And even if you have to do a vaginal insert for the woman, right? And you're a man, all right? And you're not a sister. And even if you're a sister, there is a level of dignity, a level of sanctity that you're supposed to overstand within yourself, that you have to deal with that woman when you're about to do that vaginal insert. You are going to, if you're going to insert some castor oil and some different herbs and things because the woman has fibroids or she has uterine cancer or polycystic ovarian syndrome, you could open up the woman's leg and stand from a side angle without even watching the vagina of the woman and do your insert, right? And have a towel over the woman and don't just sit down between the leg of the woman, right? And then you just invading the woman's total sanctity, your privacy. Because remember, the vagina of the woman is the holiest place on earth. That's the holiest place on earth, right? So if the woman has that full understanding that specific part of her is sacred, it's holy, then the system, the way it is designed, you could do an easy ultrasound, a pelvic ultrasound, right? If a woman says she has polycystic ovarian syndrome, you could easily do a simple little ultrasound of the pelvic of the woman, right? And then find out exactly where that cyst is and the fibroids. Okay, yes, you see there are fibroids there. But they sat down and they devised what they call a transvaginal ultrasound, right? Whereby they're going to spread up the woman's open and they're going to stick in that penis looking thing inside of the woman and rub it around and rub it around and rub it around and rub it around, right? Why do they have to do that? When you know the woman has PCOS already, you know that she has fibroids already, would what you doing there serve any purpose in healing that woman condition? No. In fact, you getting it worse. So why is it that the system, whenever they get that opportunity to actually savage up our woman, I'm talking about every woman, you could be Chinese, you could be Indian, you could be Caucasian, you could be African, I'm talking about every woman in creation, as long as you have a womb, right? The way that the system is designed to mash up the woman, and then they'll say, well, they will do a mammogram, right? A mammogram, and then they're going to take the breast of the woman and they're going to stick it between a machine and they're going to press and they're going to rub and they're going to push and they're going to shove and all manner of things. And they understand that the risk every time that you have a mammogram, that's why they only have mammogram over the age of 40. That is why, right? That is why they specifically say that a woman supposed to have a mammogram, right, over the age of 40. Why? Because they understand that before the age of 40, the cells of the woman's breast, the glandular cells and the ductal cells, they are very active. And the trauma that they're going to give it through the process of a mammogram would increase the risk of that person develop. They could develop a tumor just because they had the mammogram. Number one, they are roughing up the breast of the woman, and then they are bombarded with x-rays, radiation. So they say, oh, be aware of radiation. Radiation gives you cancer. Yet still you're going to squeeze the woman's breast between some kind of machine and you're going to radiate her breast. And then you're going to say, well, you have to be over 40 and you know the fact, and you know that the system knows that definitely that this is actually destroying the whole sanctity of the woman. And the other thing is that that process does nothing whatsoever in putting the woman in a better position to get healed from whatever condition that she's suffering from. So when I tell you that the system is designed, that I'm gonna tell you, man. We're gonna have a discussion within the next hour or so, and I'm gonna invite you to Don. I'm seeing people requesting to join the live, but I'm going to invite you to join the live shortly. When I'm ready, I'm gonna invite you to join the live because so at least we could have a discussion, a reasoning. Jah Rastafari, give thanks, blessed. Yes. Fibroids. What causes fibroids? Tell me. Anybody here? Any of you here on Instagram or anybody here on YouTube? Tell me. We're in class. It's just like it's not like I'm coming here preaching to you. I'm seeing a sister making some very good right? I'm not smoking, I'm meditating. I'm pushing in clouds here. I'm not smoking. I don't smoke. It irritates the mucus and exacerbates the condition, activating cells to protect the wall, hence producing more cysts and fibroids. Yeah, you're right. Oh, Danine said too much mucus. Okay, all right. The person who is okay, all right. I know Dr. Sebi says mucus is the cause of every disease, but there is more to it than that. It's not just mucus is the cause of every disease. There's a lot more to it than that. There's a lot more to it than that. And Miss Joy has it right. It's a high estrogen. Okay? It's what you refer to as estrogen dominance. And even, you see, that's why people just get caught up on the eat and drink thing, when this thing there is so much more than an eat and drink thing. It is like a million times more than an eat and a drink thing. Let us stop. Okay, everybody's acid and mucus and phytoestrogen, and it's a lot more than that. And we're getting into it. Now, if you understand that the cause of fibroids, polycystic ovarian syndrome, and the great majority of breast cancers are all hormonal dependent. What does that mean? What does it mean that a fibroids, a cyst in the ovary, a tumor in the breast is caused by fibroids? Now, if it is that we could just Yes, endometriosis as well. Endometriosis as well. You right. Give thanks. We have some sharp people inside of here. That is Ashley, Kamala. I mean, come on, man. I'm impressed, and you are inspiring me. That you all are coming in with some high vibes because we are at class, and then we are just. I'm just going to show you how everything is orchestrated to give you breast cancer, as a woman, and how everything is orchestrated to give you fibroids, and how everything is orchestrated to give you cysts and to make you infertile. Right? It don't matter whether you believe estrogen or not. It doesn't matter. There is a science that if you have a man who wants to actually change his sex to woman, what does he do? If a man or a man wants to actually change his sex into a woman, what does he do? And it's a question. It's a question. Tell me what they do. Tell me what the men do when they want to become transsextiles. When they want to change their sex, what do they do? I'm listening to you, I mean, I know I have some very highly intelligent people here. What do the men do? Estrogen pills and surgery. They take pills. All right. So what are in the pills? So they pump themselves with female hormones. Yes, you're right. Hormonal shots. That's it. Take hormones. So if you understand that a grown-up adult man that has no breast, big muscular chest, muscles, right, can actually pump himself with estrogen. And because he pump himself with estrogen, called hormonal therapy and progesterone, he actually grows breasts. The man grows breasts. When you say Mary Jane lower testosterone, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know if you're talking about ganja. But I mean, Rastafari are known to be the most fertile people. They have the most children. I don't know what you're talking about. Now, if it is that you understand what I'm talking about, yeah, high science. We're going into the science of this. I'm going to break it down for you. And if you want, I'm not here on talking about alkaline and acid and mucus and this, that is. The age of eating and drinking has been gone for so long. If at the point that you are right now, you are not ital, you still there eating chicken and sucking on bones and drinking cow's milk, then I mean that means that you're about a decade late. Because it has surpassed the level of eating and drinking a whole decade ago. It is at the point now that you have to begin to understand the high sciences of how it is that the system is attacking us. How the system attacking you. It's some serious thing I'm talking about. I'm coming to the point. Rastafari, give thanks. So a man can change his sex, can grow breasts by injecting estrogen in his physical structure. A girl, a princess that is an infant goes into puberty and adolescence. And then at that point, the flat chest as a princess grows. It grows and she grows breasts. Her hips actually grow out. Her buttocks get more fats. Her voice change. ITAL is not vegan. Vegan is a religion. ITAL is different. We'll have a topic about that completely. A vegan person can drink a Coca-Cola, or they can drink a Sprite, or they could, smoke a cigarette, or they could probably, ITAL is completely different than vegan. I'm not vegan, I'm Rastafari. Okay? Now, ITAL is the highest level of plant-based that you could find. Now, when we overstand that your levels of estrogen can determine the size of your breast. So if I tell you that, if I can rise up your level of estrogen, I could get your breast bigger. Right? We'll take questions just now. We're taking questions when we're taking, stop asking questions. Let's listen to the class, right? Now, if I can tell you that by taking in estrogen, your breasts can get bigger. So as a child, your chest is flat. You are a princess. You are 8 years old. You are 9 years old. And then as you begin to go to 10, 11, 12, and you are getting to adolescence, or puberty, then all of a sudden your breast gets big, your hips get wide, and then you are beginning to actually get more fats on your gluteus, or gluteus. I'm not English. I'm just an African godhead, just trying to just bring some truth to you, right? So don't check my English. It's called Hanglish, Hanglish. Hanglish. It hangs you. I mean, so when you now understand that your estrogen, we're not talking about the chicken time pass already. Eating chicken and them things, there is a past. These are just some of the things that if you still eating chicken and them type of things there, then I mean, come on, the lesson that I'm giving there, I mean, it might be a bit over your head. Now, let us go forward to it again, because that is science. So I don't want you to feel like it's too hard or it's difficult. So just tell me, yes, priest, I understand. Or no, priest, I don't understand. Tell me again. Don't ask any other questions about that. Right? Just tell me, yes, I understand. No, I don't. Or you ask a question with regards to what I'm saying. Don't ask any other question about anything else, because we want an understanding. It's not like as if you're just following and this and that. We want to understand what is happening. You understand that the hormone estrogen, which is called the female hormone, has the capacity to make you grow breast, even if you are a man, or even if you are a baby princess, and it is that you are growing of age, and then the estrogen levels begin to get higher, you grow breasts. So understand that now. If it is that your estrogen levels grow, and you already have breasts, and then you are increasing the amount of estrogen in your system, what's happening now? If you already have breast, right, and for some reason or the other, we're not even talking about the reasons, we are only talking about for some reason or the other, your estrogen levels start to go up and you already have breast, what's going to happen? I'm listening to you. Give thanks. I'm happy to know that you understand. Give thanks. We're not talking about the womb, we are talking about the breast. Your answer is not right. Right? I'm talking about breast. If we understand that estrogen does cause a woman to grow breast, and then you already have breast, and you are exposed to a significantly larger amount of estrogen, of course, yes, it's logic, it gets bigger. Extra breast fat. Yes. But when we go now, let's just look at the breast. Let's look at the breast. Now, within the matrix of the woman's breast. Yes, all of you right. Cyst, cancer, overgrowth. Right? Within the matrix of the woman's breast, what is underneath the skin of the woman's breast? You have glands and you have a ductal system. So it's like you have a bunch of grapes, and you have the grapes, and each of the grapes is attached to the vine by tiny branches. Each of the grapes is representative of a gland. So the breast has glands inside of it. So understand that. So you've ripped out the skin, and then you are examining under the skin. You're going to find what you call a subcutaneous fatty layer. So you're going to have lots of fat. So the breast tissue, the matrix of it is very fatty. within that fatty architecture, you have a series of glands that are actually connected to a main chamber, a main vessel, a main duct that actually goes out of the nipple of the breast of the woman, or what you call the areola, which have several outputs opening. So the areola, which is that brownish part, that melanated part of the breast of the woman with the darker melanin, right? That aspect of the woman's breast contains openings that is called the areola. It contains little openings of the ducts that actually open on that aspect of the woman's breast. Important. And all of these ducts, when you reverse into them, and you reverse it into the ducts, right? At the end of these ducts, you're going to have glands. The mammary glands of the woman is what secretes and produces breast milk that allows that breast milk to travel into the ducts, and the breast milk goes through the ducts and out through the areola. So as the baby actually sucks on the breast, remember, you have to listen to every aspect of what I am telling you. It's very important. It's science. And it has a lot to do with the reasons why our woman has breast cancer, fibrocystic breasts, right? And a lot of our sisters are dying because they don't understand how integral or how integrated or exactly how it is designed, how scientific and how exact the system is that gets them to be at that state or at that status whereby they can develop a tumor in the breast. This thing there is well planned out, my sister. If you, I mean, this is so well planned out, but if you don't understand how your breast works, then you're really in no position to actually assist yourself. So it's not just about what you eat and drink. There are plenty of people who are vegan and this and that, and they eat thing and they do all type of thing, and then at the end of the day, right, they still get cancer. The baby getting, no, that's a very good question. The baby getting estrogen, no, Michael Casimir. The ducts don't produce estrogen. The ducts produce breast milk. The glands, pardon me. The glands produce breast milk, not estrogen. The baby getting breast milk, not estrogen. Now, they can get estrogen too, but I'm just telling you, they getting breast milk. Now, the baby, now just listen to me. Okay, before we get to that. So we said that the glands are connected to the ducts, and the ducts are connected to what you call other ducts that lead directly to the areola of the woman. The breast, which is that brown spot on the breast. The man also has an areola, okay, but the woman has an areola, and that is where exactly where the breast milk is actually sucked out of. Now, estrogen levels directly cause a manipulation in the glandular structure of the breast. The more estrogen that is in the breast matrix, it stimulates the production of more glands. Glandular proliferation. That is why when a woman is close to a menstrual cycle and her estrogen levels begins to go up, she feels that tenderness and that heaviness in her breast because there is a proliferation. There is an increase of activity, an increase in the stimulation of the glands of the breast of the woman. The same way, when a woman is pregnant, she's fruitful, and there is an increase in the level of estrogen, her breast gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Yes, you have breast pain every month. It's because of the increase of estrogen circulation in your blood. Now, yes, you understand that. That, my beloved sisters, if you just understand how that lesson is important for you, it's a life-saving lesson. Estrogen levels affects the glandular structure of the breast. This is why before your menstrual cycle you get that heaviness of the breast. This is why during pregnancy, right, because there's an increase in the amount of estrogen, the breast gets bigger. Why? Because of the glandular development caused by the increase in estrogen. Because at that point in time, the breast needs to have more glands so it can begin to produce milk. So when the baby actually sucks on the breast. Now remember that the level of estrogen, when it changes, it can make a flat chest to grow breasts. It can change a man into a man's chest into a woman's chest. And it can literally cause an increase in glandular stimulation. And it can cause the production of breast milk. Now, important. What happens if it is that, I'm not going to ask a question. After a woman gives birth, and she begins to breastfeed, does breastfeeding increase the production of breast milk, or does breastfeeding decrease the production of breast milk? That's a question. Does breastfeeding increase the production of breast milk, or does it decrease the production of breast milk? Question. Okay, the one says it increases. Indy says it increases. Moonwalker says it increases. Royal Majesty says it increases. So the more you breastfeed, Goddess Itopia says increasing. Alto Ori says increasing. Wisdom Pearl, yes, it increases. Miss Me Joy, yes, it increases. Every Juicy James increases. Locks of Culture increases. So yes, so we agree that when a baby sucks on the breast of the woman, it increases. When a baby sucks upon the breast of a woman, it increases the production of breast milk. Yes, Miriam Sandra Clark, it increases. Yes, the one. Yes, This Amazing Life, it increases. I'm going to ask you a question. Because, I mean, you are my wonderful students that I'm very happy to have this opportunity to actually share the knowledge with you. And also you will share some knowledge with me. I'll look at the questions and the suggestions while going through. Why is it that it increases the production of breast milk? What do you think happens when a baby sucks the breast of the woman? I mean, we've just been in science class. What do you think happens chemically when the baby sucks the breast of the woman? What happens? Stimulation, of course. Proliferation, of course. Stimulates growth, of course. But what stimulates the growth? That's the question. What causing the glands to get agitated, what causes to proliferate. But all what you said is correct, you know. All what you said is correct. Prolactin, oh no. Yes, but no. Okay, yes, prolactin, but no. Yes, the sucking stimulates what? Okay, all right, let's go back again. 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 We're going back. What chemical stimulates the breast? What chemical is it? What chemical stimulates the breast? I'm asking you, what increases? Estrogen, Royal Majesty, you're right. Estrogen is what causes an increase in proliferation. Estrogen is what causes the stimulation and everything of the breast, not saliva. Right? We're talking about estrogen. Okay, right. So, if the child sucks the breast of the woman, I'm going to ask that. Let me see if you understand what I'm saying, or overstand, or understand, or side stand. When the child sucks the breast of the woman, we say there is stimulation, there is proliferation, and there is all these different types of things. All right, now we are asking, when the child sucks the nipple of the woman, does it cause an increase or a decrease in the level of estrogen? Let me see if you understand. When the child sucks the breast of the woman, does it cause an increase or a decrease in estrogen? It's a question. I'm anticipating an answer. An increase, okay? Anyone's an increase, okay? Wellness, an increase. Moonwalker, of course. An increase. Okay, Empress. An increase. Wisdom, okay, increase. All right. Okay, you're wrong, Daddy. Thing. It's not a decrease. The increase have it. So because estrogen actually causes the breast, the glands of the breast to be proliferated. Now, if there is an increase in the production of breast milk when the child actually sucks the breast, it means that when the child sucks the breast, it actually causes more production of breast milk. And what chemical would actually cause an increase in the production of breast milk? Yes, prolactin, right? But also estrogen that actually causes the stimulation or the increase in the production of the glandular structure of the matrix of the breast. Estrogen. All right. So don't just listen to Google, man. We are in science class. If when the child sucks the breast of the woman, it causes increased prolactin. Prolactin activates the breast. Increased increased estrogen production, right? Increased glandular proliferation. The woman begins to actually to produce more breast milk. Okay, all right. Next question. What hormone? Remember, that the breast of the woman is tactile, or it stimulates through touch. So if you touch the breast of the woman, right? The same way when the baby sucks it, that means that it's tactile. As the baby sucks, there is a stimulation. So it actually causes different hormonal changes within the woman's physical structure. You don't need to have pain when you're breastfeeding. It's not about pain. We're just talking about an increase in estrogen does cause increased gland. It's a natural thing. It's okay. When your body increases estrogen when the child sucks the breast, that's very good. That's what's supposed to happen. Right? When a woman gets pregnant and her breast gets bigger, that's great. That's what's supposed to happen. Because at that point in time, that woman's supposed to have a certain level, a certain quantity of glands in her breast. Right? Now, or a certain amount of estrogen in her bloodstream at that particular time. So that's okay, that's excellent. But if it is that When the breast, the areola, the nipple of the woman is actually sucked by the child, it causes an increased production of breast milk because of the increase in prolactin or increase in estrogen, right? Because prolactin does cause an increase in estrogen levels. Pituitary gland produces that. Now, as your estrogen levels, as your estrogen levels increase through stimulation by the child, breast milk is produced more. Now, what would happen? Okay, let's say you're not pregnant and you're a woman, and then the person you love, your lover, actually touches your nipples. How do you feel if your lover actually stimulates your nipple? What happens if your lover stimulates your nipple? It's a question. What happens if your lover stimulates your nipple? It's a question. What happens? You get aroused, of course. You feel good, right? You feel good, you get aroused, right? Now, erection of the election, and it's not a, you have an election there. Okay, erection, okay, all right, you get aroused. Nipple becomes erect. Yes, of course. Now, what hormones are responsible for the arousal of a woman? Okay, estrogen, the female hormone, is what you call the woman's sex hormones. That is why when she goes through menopause, men on pause, men on pause, menopause, men on pause, men on pause, menopause, 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 men on pause, menopause, menopause, men on pause. That means that her estrogen levels, dopamine, yes, also dopamine is a feel good hormone also, but honorable, we're talking about the hormone, the estrogen. This is the key hormone for the night. Dr. Petrina ADC. I don't know how to call it. Dr. Petrina DC. Right? Yes, dopamine is the feel good hormone, but at the end of the day, we know that the sex hormone is estrogen. That is why when the woman goes into menopause, there is that decline in estrogen. That's why her cycle stops. That's why her breast actually shrinks. And that's why she becomes dry in her vaginal area is actually dry, right? And then she doesn't get that level of secretion just because she is on menopause and her estrogen levels is actually decreasing. So we understand that, or overstand that the estrogen level is the sex hormone of the woman. So when the nipple of the woman is stimulated, right, what happens? The woman gets aroused. According to the sisters that's there, or her nipple gets erect. Why? Because the stimulation of the nipple of the woman causes an increase in the circulatory level of your estrogen. All right. Now, understanding that, because that's good lesson for the man too, because the man need to understand the anatomy of the woman and how it is actually created. And because understanding that, when you massage the breast of the woman, okay, so if as a man, I'm not talking about like a what we'd call a mammogram. I'm speaking of if a man, your lover holds your breast and squeeze your breast in the right way and thing, you feel good also. You like it, you feel good. Makes you feel good. So that means the whole matrix of the breast of the woman is responsive, is responsive to touch. So if you just touch the breast, because it is connected to the endocrine system and the nervous system, these messages go to centers in your endocrine system, your brain, your pituitary gland, your hypothalamus, and causes different hormonal production from the ovaries of the woman. That is the key factory for estrogen. Well, I mean, when a woman is over 50 and she eats well, her estrogen levels are good enough. It's not like as if she is thing. When a woman is over 50, she's still supposed to be fit and strong, or 60, 70. You know, it's just disease that causes a woman to go through them type of thing. It's not like as if, that's what they say, it's not like as if a woman's supposed to that. When you're 50, you're supposed to be in your prime. You just half a century, you know. Sure? Rest of all, I give thanks. Remember, everything I'm saying is for a purpose. Everything I'm saying is for a purpose. Estrogen levels are changed within the physical structure when the nipple is stimulated, when the breast is actually pressed, when the baby actually sucked on the breast, and all these different things there. The levels of estrogen actually change. So, if it is that we overstand that the most devastating form of breast cancer, which is the ductal carcinoma of the breast, which is caused by estrogen dominance, ductal carcinoma of the breast, and then you have ductal carcinoma of the breast is caused by progesterone, and then you have glandular carcinoma of the breast is caused by estrogen. So you have progesterone and estrogen, two of the female hormones responsible for the worst types of breast tumors within the physical structure. So then, any aspect of your physical structure, if it is that you have a tumor in your breast, for whatever reason, and it's a glandular carcinoma of the breast, and then you have to reduce your estrogen levels, right? You know that the system, do you understand that? Do you know that that there are certain, we are going to seal up. This is not going to be done in like one night. You know, I'm going to just an hour. We just have an hour to do this, and we have about 5 more minutes. I'm going to invite some people on the live to actually, you know, come and ask a question. You know, I'm not gonna read any questions. You're gonna come and share something or ask a question, and just focus on what is happening, nothing else. Yeah. So fibroids is caused by estrogen dominance because it's what you call a leiomyoma of the womb. Fibroids is caused by estrogen dominance. Endometriosis is caused by estrogen dominance. That means that you have too much estrogen. So anything that you might be doing that might be causing an increase in the level of estrogen within your physical structure, you have to understand what parts of my body or my goodie could actually cause there to have an increase in estrogen production. So they put our woman, PCOS is progesterone and estrogen to an extent. right? If it is that they put the woman's breast in a bra, and the way that they design the bra, some of the criminals, they put metal things in the bra, like metal, to actually be pressing on the breast of the woman all the time. And we understand that the breast of the woman is tactile. That means that whenever you press on it and you take it hard, you know, I mean, as a man, if you press the breast of a woman and think the woman feels good. Why? Because it actually sends a stimulation. It changes the hormonal aspect of the breast of the woman. So before, most of the women who did not understand the importance of choosing a good type of bra, there are bras that are designed literally to touch the breast of. I mean, there are bras that have some metal things that actually press the breast of the woman. And there are bras that literally keeps the nipple of the woman up and always rubbing. So as the woman moves, her nipple is just rubbing on the bra, rubbing on the bra, rubbing on the bra, rubbing on the bra. And then it has some fitting, pressing right on the breast matrix, right? Actually always stimulating and pressing the breast. And that's why sometimes when a woman puts a bra and the bra looks a particular type of way, and when she's walking, she feels good, she feels stimulated. Why? Because she's arousing herself and she doesn't even know that she's getting aroused. Doesn't even know that the reason why she feels so sexy and so good in the bra is because she is really feeling sexy, because she is subconsciously increasing her estrogen levels. Subconsciously, not knowingly, because we overstand that. We overstand that. I went through the whole thing on estrogen just to come to tell you that, you know, that the bras does actually, I mean, why you think women feel good in some bras and things? Because they feel good. Because the bra does press them in the right place, and the nipple does rub on the bra, and it's like as if they're getting stimulated by the bra and they're moving themselves. Remember, our elders never used to wear bra like that, you know. Bra used to be worn probably when they go into church or something. They were able to allow for the development of the muscles of the breast. You know, if you're not a 16-year-old, why would your breast have to look like you're 16? You know, you're 40. You know, so the beauty of 40. So you want to deny me as your husband the opportunity to witness a 40-year-old breast in its beauty and its glory? So the beauty of a 40-year-old breast is the beauty of a 40-year-old breast. The beauty of a 16-year-old breast is that. But as the woman manifests through her age, she's supposed to understand what type of support, if she needs a support material for her breast. She's not supposed to go to rest in the night and then you have bra. Who is bra? Who is bra? He's always touching and rubbing on your breast. Right? There are people there, I mean, if you really understand the fullness of your anatomy and the science of all your physical structure, understand, and you would understand the whole perfect nature of the system. Yeah. Who is bra? Now, bra has both of his hands wrapped around you from the back to the front, and then he's just rubbing on your breast. You know, and bra is just there all the time, 24/7, stimulating your nipple and pressing down on the tactile matrix of your breast. Right, so look out for bra, especially if it is that you someone suffering with breast cancer. And some of them so tight that they actually cut off the whole flow of your axillary lymph nodes that actually flow through your breast because they're so tight. Remember, you know, that we're talking about estrogen, and that you understand how the areola, the nipple of the breast, when it is stimulated, it gets you aroused. You understand that. You told me that. I didn't tell you that. You told me that. I didn't tell you that. You told me that when it stimulates, you get aroused. And if I tell you, if your husband or your lover actually presses and caresses your breast, you actually feel good. You like it as long as it's gentle and not too rough. You know, with the right level of pressure. Not like an animal. Jah Rastafari, give thanks, blessed. So bras will increase your level of estrogen unnecessarily. So first, that can increase your propensity of developing breast cancer. Especially certain type of bras that are designed deliberately for that purpose. Right? Now, in closing, the other most sensitive part of the woman's anatomy. What is the most sensitive part of the woman's anatomy? That's a question. If a woman wants to get aroused, what is the most sensitive part of the woman's anatomy that gets her aroused? Okay, Royal Majesty, clitoris. It's clitoris, not just clit, man. I mean, we in science class, brother. Please, clitoris. Clitoris. Okay, we in science class. Not the nipples. The clitoris is more sensitive than the nipples. Well, I don't know, probably you only, okay, alright. But the clitoris of the woman is the most sensitive part of the woman. So, if the clitoris of the woman is stimulated, what happens with the levels of estrogen? I mean, we're in class now. We're in class. What happens to the level of estrogen when you stimulate the clitoris of the woman? What happens? Royal Majesty increases. You are right. It doesn't. How you were you late to class, Sydney? Were you late to class? I mean, I think you were late to class. You see, all my students increase. All my A students, A plus students increase. Sydney, and you come and tell me decrease. Why would it decrease when it is that you are actually, all my, you see my grade A students, they're my A plus students. Give thanks for our A plus students there. Rastafari. You know, science important, you know. I mean, this is important thing we're talking about. So when it is that the clitoris is actually stimulated, the estrogen levels actually increase. Okay, all right. So then, what would it cause to the matrix of the breast? Would it cause what would it cause to the glandular nature of the breast? If it is that your clitoris is always stimulated, and let's say that for some reason, okay, your clitoris only supposed to be stimulated when it is that you are with your husband and your lover, and then you all think, understand and thing, and then you're doing your thing, and all right, so your clitoris is stimulated, you feel good, and then you go for your vibes. So then if it is that something for some reason is always stimulating your clitoris, what would be happening to you? Because the same for the breast simultaneously, of course. It's because remember, the estrogen level is not just for the clitoris only, it's in your bloodstream, so it affects everywhere that estrogen affects. So you have an estrogen overload. That's what happened. You see, we have some wise people there, man. Estrogen overdrive. You see, we have some wise people there. Now let me, because remember, you are the one that's actually going to come to the scientific conclusion. And this is not something that right? This is not something that you could just get Kim Kardashian's body into through surgery. If it is that you really, if you really, you know, if it is that you really want to actually overstand all the things that actually cause your estrogen levels to actually increase and put you at risk to developing fibroids and breast cancer and all them different things there are clothing that the woman does wear that deliberately cause their clitoris to actually be always stimulated. What type of material? What type of material is the roughest material? I mean, if you want to make, like, okay, if there's a rough material that you'd think that is very common, that everybody is wearing, okay, jeans, you're right. Jeans is like the roughest material. Okay, jeans is very rough. Okay, all right. How close does jeans be or denim? How close does denim be or your jeans pants be to the clitoris? How close does your jeans pants be to your clitoris? Your jeans pants. How close does it be to your clitoris? Your jeans pants. Very close or very far? Answer that question. Tight jeans. Too close. Very close. Close. Close very. So close sometimes that if you have a white underwear, if you're wearing a white underwear and you have a blue jeans, more than likely the white underwear will be stained what color? What color would the white color jeans underwear be stained? Will stain blue. Because the jeans is rubbing. So the jeans, your jeans pants, the rough denim material is actually violating your clitoris. You understand? So you are being stimulated. And you know what now? Now what fashion did? Fashion. Because remember, you feel good in a tight jeans, When that jeans is tight, you feel good. Now, what makes you feel even better when you have a tight jeans on? What type of shoe that you going to wear to feel even better when you have a tight jeans on? What type of shoe you going to be wearing? Tell me. What type of shoe? Heels, yeah. So when you have a heels, a steel toe. When you have a high heels and you have a tight jeans, you feel good. Now how does the tight jeans actually tilt your buttocks? How does the tight jeans actually tilt your buttocks? Oh my goodness. The tight jeans, the heels, when you wear the heels, right? The heels does actually tilt the buttocks of the woman to the back. Woof, and push it back. So the woman push her buttocks, put it up, so and when she walks, she actually rubs the clit. She feels good, because as she's walking in the tight jeans and the high heels, she is rubbing her clitoris. She's massaging her clitoris. So she's feeling good. Oh my goodness. The jeans is having a ball. Sometimes the jeans have more time with the vagina of the woman more than the husband of the woman. wonder who Jean is or who Jean is. Yeah, man, always rubbing up the woman's clitoris. Right? Always making the woman feel excited, rubbing up the woman clitoris. Because why? So I'm making it up. But didn't you just tell me that the color of the underwear does be blue after you take off a blue jeans that's tight on you? So doesn't it only mean that that blue tight jeans is actually rubbing on the clitoris of the woman and causing her estrogen levels to actually go? Remember, every single thing is designed to have you estrogen dominant. It's not even about sex and sexy and feeling good. It's about having high level understanding that all these feelings is because of estrogen. You pumping up your, so even the dress you wear, so you fighting the fibroids and you change your diet, everything, but you're still in your heels and your tight jeans. Right? Not understanding that all these things that stimulate you in a way that can cause you to have higher levels of estrogen. So it's not just about what you eat and you drink. That's that we way past that. You have to come to the point of levity. The way you live, the way you dress, the way you walk, the shoes you wear, the thoughts you have, and how emotionally sound you are. Because the system is designed 100% to violate the woman. And so you think that it would not be deliberate that so many women getting breast cancer, and you believe it's only the chicken and the thing and all them. No. It's from the clothes you wear, my sister. The bras you wear. The shoes you wear. Yes. And 70% of it is the thoughts you think, 70 out of the 100% of it is already 70. So that 30% that is remaining. So 70% of our predicament as a people, as humanity, as a family is already your mental status. Your thoughts, your emotions, your trauma, the violence against the woman, the rape, the battering, the beating, the insulting, the abusing, the kicking, the stomping, the abuses of the woman from childhood, from the crib, from the womb to the tomb. 70% of it is that. So 70% of the reason why you have an estrogen overdraft is just because of your mental status. Why me? I'm depressed, I'm anxious. Depression, anxiety, bipolar. I am sad. Why me? Poor me. Right? And that deliberate attempt of the system to ignore what the woman is actually going through. Ignore it. Nobody talks about it. So when I speak of I speak of certain things, what I'm telling you is things I've been saying probably 10 years ago. So it's not like as if it's something new I'm doing. You could go on YouTube. I have videos there all 14, 15 years ago, 13 years ago for sure. But it's nothing like as if I'm following somebody fashion. I just told you from the beginning, I went to plenty different schools. And the highest school is Rastafari. And I was blessed for the understanding of the herbs given to me by my grandmother. Yes, I have some diplomas in herbal, this and that and this, and I go to university, medical school, this and that. But what's that? That's nothing. If it is that the knowledge I receive from the studying of the sciences cannot be used for the upliftment and the liberation of my people. So why you think that I take so much time just to break down all these things there for you? Because I don't want you to believe that I really have a problem with you wearing your jeans, or I would prefer that is for you to understand that the whole aspect of what you wear and what you're doing destroys you, not me. And scientifically. So when it is that I say, well, look, wear a linen, or wear a cotton, wear something nice and free and flowing, right? It's not just because of a level of I would want to convince you to do something that is good for yourself. It is because you have that full scientific understanding of how it is everything is calculated against your survival. Your very capacity to reproduce is now being targeted and compromised. Not through no vaccine, you know. I'm not talking about vaccines, you know. I'm talking about 70% of it is your thoughts. The rest of the 30% is your environmental things, which includes your food and your drink and your thing and what you wear and your whole livity. But 70% of it, of your disease state, is controlled by your mind. So no matter how you eat and how you drink and you have a dirty and a filthy mind, it don't matter. It don't matter. You know? So you must be pure, your thoughts, your energy, clean, happy. You know, to be able to manifest that high level of creation. So then you don't become judgmental of what people do, what they wear, and what they eat. Right? You accept people for what they are, who they are, what they do as their personal business. Right? Because your thoughts is not occupied with evil against people and hatred and animosity. All you want to do is just be good and happy and just check for yourself and make sure everybody around you good. And then that if that man good, or give thanks. Right? So I'm telling you about as a woman, you know. So the thing about it is that, you know, the woman is targeted so intricately, scientifically. You know, so the antiperspirant, the makeup, they put fetal extracts. So what do you think the fetal aborted fetus extracts or fetal or placental extracts for some of the makeups that the woman wear, for some of the makeups that the woman wear, the makeups they're making up, so they're creating somebody. Some man never see their woman yet, you know. If they see the real woman, they'll run. They'll think that's a stranger. If some man go in their room and they see the real woman, they really think it's a stranger. So where then you get the trust? So if some children really see their real mothers, then they will think it's a stranger. So where is it that you're gonna get that trust? So then you're already beginning your relationship on an arm of distrust, because that's not you. You know, so if your face is not made up, you're not wearing a mask. Right? If your face is not made up and you're wearing a mask, and then you have your natural hair growing how it's supposed to be, you won't never look like the person that you are when you have a mask and you have some kind of makeup or some kind of costume. You know, I mean, come on. I mean, whether you wear costume, I'm just telling you, and you don't have to think, you know, and you know that I love the eye. That everything I'm saying is through the full essence of love. And it only takes someone that loves you to actually tell you the truth. If it is that someone don't love you, don't care, they won't tell you the truth. It's because of the love that I'm telling you that when you wear a mask, a costume, something that doesn't make you look like your real self, that if you're supposed to stay and become your natural self and your real self, that when your children see you, they will not be able to recognize you. That means that the foundation of that relationship between you and your child is something that is already built up on a relationship of distrust. Fakery. You know, so, alright, I know it sounds harsh, and it does. The truth is an offense, but not a sin. And I know it sounds hard, and I know that sometimes the honorable priest does sound so hard and things, but someone has to do it. But it's all love and peace, you know, and to understand that It is the fundamental responsibility of the woman to take the charge, and it is imperative that you understand that. If the man love makeup, then just give him the makeup and tell him he could just keep the makeup and keep yourself. You say, but man loves makeup. Just give the man the makeup. Right? So he loves makeup, so that's makeup, give him the makeup, and then you just be yourself. If it's not you he loves and the makeup he loves, just give him the makeup. The makeup will make him happy. Okay? You love the makeup, just give him the makeup. Okay? Alright. Now we're not even going to all whether man love makeup or not, because we understand that the makeup contains placental extracts. And placental extracts, what do you think is in a placental extract? What is in placental extract? What do you think is in the placenta of an unborn baby? What chemical you think is in the placenta of an unborn baby? What chemical you think is in the placenta of an unborn baby? Estrogen. Okay, alright, estrogen. So they put placental extracts in the makeups because the estrogen in it makes you feel good, makes you feel nice, make your face rosy, make it good. So you think that, remember, every single aspect is actually designed to have you estrogen dominant. So they put parabens in your antiperspirants. Parabens are what you call xenoestrogens. They give you water in plastic bottles, that what you call BPA, which are what you call xenoestrogens. So every single thing around you is designed. So every single milliliter, every single aspect of it, you have to check and ensure that you are protecting yourself. So it's about your levity. Control your thoughts. Have happy thoughts. Be happy. Be consciously. Keep clean and pure thoughts. Embrace your traumas because they're done already. You cannot undo them. Give thanks for life. Live in the moment and give thanks. So take care of that greater 70% to keep yourself on that estrogen balance, because that trauma, that cortisol is going to get you estrogen dominant. Right? So let us have that full understanding and be able to actually safeguard ourselves. Yes, we will take anyone who wants to join in now. I mean, if you want to I'm joining on the live and ask a question, probably I'll take 3 people to come in on the live. And if you have any questions on YouTube, I want to scroll back, just ask your question now so I could see if we could actually answer that question. YouTube and Instagram. If you want to ask a question, you could just come in and ask your question. Or if there is something that you have to say, you could come in and you can say it. Right? So don't make us wait too long. So because we have I'm gonna do PCOS some other time. I'm not gonna read now. I'm not gonna read nothing either. If you want to come in and chime in, come and join the live and give thanks. And if no one is coming, definitely I do give thanks for the divine moment and give thanks for being a Daniel, because it's there to be a Daniel, there to stand alone, there to have a purpose, there to make it known. So at the end of the day, other people like to hide in little corners and little crevices and things. You're not supposed to be like a mosquito, like a parasite. Right? You're supposed to be urgent. Your hand's supposed to be on the trigger to press the button, pop, and come on the screen and speak and express some love and some gratitude. Don't just be there hiding in a little corner and thing. That's what all people do. The people that has come to the forefront in the war and the battle to actually enlighten people that's just be hiding in a little corner and then just let enough people get killed and all different type of things. Enough people who come out to teach people and things and they just get killed and everybody just hide in little crevices and corners and things like mosquitoes. Don't be a parasite. So when you are invited to join the live, don't be a mosquito. Don't be like a parasite. You have to be in a position, because you are class, You have to be in a position where you could come in and full taking it. Don't hide in little corners like you're afraid to actually express the truth and things. Is that level of cowardice that have us in our state, Because people so cowardly, not afraid to come and stand up and speak for the right. And because the voice of justice is silent, evil actually prosper. Yes, my Lord, blessed, give thanks. Give thanks, my Lord. Rastafari. Blessed. Give thanks, my brother here. You coming from Dominica? Oh, give thanks, my brother. Love. I had a DA accent, man. Love, man. Blessed. Love, love. Give thanks. So give thanks for our beloved brother from originally from Dominica, calling from Antigua. Dominica is like one of my homes, you know. So I give thanks for that. So you could sign out, beloved. So anyone else who wants to come in and just just speak it and just say something upful. You could just sign out and just come back in, because you're still there. Just sign out and come back in so someone else will actually come in and bless it up. Right, so definitely, those of you who are here, those who are not there, and if that's it for the night, then I will call it. But give thanks for everyone who actually came in, and you have to be brave and strong. And that is what actually, Kazima, you still there, you still on the line. Kazima is still on the line. So you have to really be big and strong, and you as a man or as a woman have to understand that the way it is that we have to take care of things, we have to be true and sincere. And it's not about convincing people. It's a truth that you have to know for your own self. It's not about you having to convince someone or making anybody want to know what you know. But at the end of the day, when it comes to that, it depends upon you as an individual having a capacity to know the right, and be educated, not just through academics, but you have a high level of intelligence to the extent that you could make right decisions. It's all about your decisions. So how are you going to be making the right decisions that you have to make to be able to take care of your divine self? So again, I give thanks for all the people that was with us this evening, and I give thanks for life. And definitely, just as a woman, just love yourself and make sure that you understand the fullness of how you're supposed to deal with yourself, and treat yourself honorably, and don't let people violate you, know exactly to what extent you should allow yourself to actually come into contact with different type of things. Just love yourself. Give thanks for life. Ja,